Okay, I'll post. God. Hey everyone, welcome back. This is gonna be part 2 of What If Deku Had Yuta's Powers. And I know I have been taking a long time to upload. I'm having a bit of trouble uploading consistently, but if you guys enjoy this series, please do leave a like on the video. I have a like goal. If you guys break that like goal, you guys get the next part in movie form. All of the parts in one video, but first you have to break 10 likes. I think that's a doable goal, and I really hope you guys enjoy this video because I went crazy with the Shigaraki voice acting. And before we start the video, I would like to give a special thank you to my goat, Just OM. He's made so many versions of the thumbnail for this video, and he has made so many thumbnails in general for this channel, so special thank you to him. Go check out his channel. He makes banger what ifs as well and has a more consistent upload schedule than me. So make sure to go there and drop by, give him a view, and tell him that I sent you. Well, anyway, let's get on with the video. Bye!
Hero Team wins!
After that, Izuku was declared the winner and the MVP for coming up with a pretty good plan of attack and a counter-attack and a backup plan, which was very commendable, and Momo kind of commended Izuku for keeping his cool until he didn't and he went completely berserker on Bakugo. Oh, and speaking of Bakugo, he is currently in the infirmary, soaking and getting his ear patched up because now he has a tiny little hole left from Izuku just biting a chunk off of his, like, it wasn't a big chunk, more of a like smallish little nib. Well, that's besides the point. After Momo gives her speech about how well Izuku performed in the battle exam, everybody started saying like, hey, that was amazing, Izuku. That was like the best performance ever. Yeah, man, can you teach me to move like that? I didn't know you had those types of moves, man. Yeah, that was super manly, dude. Like, can you do that again? Like, that hardening thing?
Alright kids, step back a little bit. He is a bit winded from that last battle. Right, young Midoriya?
All Might, of course, knowing this job a lot, he knows that Izuku wasn't himself in that battle. Something happened. He snapped. And, well, he wants to give him a little bit of space so he doesn't go full-on Rika Psycho mode again. After a while, Izuku goes, after treating his minimal injury, since he still got a little bit injured from his own quirk, trying to dangle from a broken sword. Bro literally stopped himself from falling in a 20-story building while he was even higher in the sky, and stopped himself with his own cursed energy and hand strength and his sword that by a miracle didn't break, even more broken than it already was. But anyway, so he, after getting that treated, he goes to his classroom and nobody's there except Ochako and a few other students, and he says, excuse me, do you know where Bakugo is? I really need to apologize. When he came back from the infirmary, he just left. He took his things and didn't say a word. Oh no, he might have. Thank you, Uraraka. Izuku at that point goes off running towards the entrance of the school, and he meets Bakugo there, which he was already leaving, and he says, hey Bakugo, wait. I'm sorry about your ear, I wanna apologize. Apologize for what? I was the one who was being a little to you. I wasn't trying to hide my power, maybe not at the beginning. It's just that it made me seem like, you know, how they always say I was in school. Like a psychopath, a crazy kid, cringe Chinubio. You know, most of those I helped propagate, and I'm sorry. At first, it all felt like harmless fun, but then you started getting bullied, and then I started seeing the scars. Then I tried to help, but it wasn't enough. I stood there, doing nothing, and I only helped you, and it made me look good. No, I feel horrible. In this fight, I didn't try to prove myself as the strongest. I tried to prove that you were laughing at me, that you were just as much of a scumbag as me. It's at this point where Bakugo started to get teary-eyed. Bakugo, are you crying? I came to apologize for your ear, but if you are apologizing for something that happened, then you are forgiven. Really? Just like that? I helped them bully you, and I only intervened when it made me look good. Maybe. And maybe I'm still mad, but I don't know. But from now on, how about you redirect that anger at actually trying to beating me? Oh, you're so on. You're barely starting out with your quirk. I am so gonna win this. Alright, shit nerd. I'll see you later. Next time we fight, I'll beat you. And I won't let there be any doubt. I'm number one. After that exchange of words, Izuku looks at Bakugo and well, guess that's that. Hey, Deku! How did things go with your rival? He just left. But I think he's doing better now. Wait, really? He looked a bit peeved when he left. Yeah, he was a bit upset, but I think he's doing better. And so am I. The next day, Izuku and his, small group of friends that he has made over a few days actually entered school at the same time. And of course, Ida immediately goes to policing the entire classroom by saying, "Alright everyone, in your seats, teacher's almost about to arrive." At this, everybody takes a seat, and Ida is kind of surprised that everybody listened to him, and he's like, they didn't think that was gonna work. Thank you. When everybody actually takes a seat, Aizawa pops from under his desk and actually says, "Alright, I have received your results from yesterday's battle trial. All of you did alright. The important thing is that now you have building blocks on which you can build upon your abilities. All of you did well, but there is things to work on. For example, Bakugo, you're a talented kid, but if you fly off the handle like that again, you won't be of any help to anyone out there. That goes the same for you, Midoriya. Fly off the handle like that, I might have to expel you. Learn how to keep that quirk of yours under control." Izuku kinda looked dejected at this, but he took it in stride, and he said, "Yes sir." Aizawa proceeded to become very critical of everyone's performance, and then proceeded to tell them that they need some more hero work, training, saving people. That's the main idea of their jobs. And he starts passing around, or gets Ida to pass around, a bunch of permission slips to the USJ. Izuku was excited on the inside, and he said, "Wait, I've never been to the USJ." And Mina actually says it outside. So does Kirishima, and they go "No way, we're going to the USJ?" Ochako was kinda worried, since she did not think that her tuition money was actually gonna be used for field trips like that. "Can you kids shut up? It's not that. The USJ stands for Unforeseen Simulations. Joint." This immediately dropped the mood of the entire class, including Izuku. "I really wanted to go to the USJ. I've never gone." Araka was actually relieved. Thank goodness. I didn't want my tuition money going to stuff I don't need." We time skip for until the time of the USJ. Ida's asking everyone to please board the bus in alphabetical order, and everybody starts being chaotic. And then Kirishima actually rushes in and says, "Hey everyone, it's open seating!" Ida says, well, whatever. Let's say goodbye to the rules. Aizawa then said, I don't care which way you board the bus, just do it. Once they board the bus, they start on their trip to the USJ. They actually start talking, and the conversation around who's the strongest starts to pop around. And Kirishima says that it's probably Bakugo. Kaminari says, there's no way. I mean, look at Shoto. He's the son of the number 2 hero. He also froze an entire building. Yeah, you might be right, but we can't rule out Midoriya. I mean, he beat Bakugo, like, fairly easy. Also, he went sicko mode.
Let's not forget that Bakugo isn't the type of hero to be, like, top charter. I mean, he has a horrible personality. Really?
Oh, you wanna go, frog girl? I'll turn you into frog legs! You semi-aquatic you son of Bakugo language. Alright kids, we're here. Get yourself ready. We're gonna be joined by 2 other heroes, including myself. Once everybody got out of the bus and was standing in front of the USJ, Izuku couldn't help but feel a weird feeling coming from the USJ. Something like negative feelings. Izuku pushed these feelings to the side and went inside with everybody else to the USJ, and it was huge. And number 13 was waiting inside for them. And she said that, well, she started giving a speech about their quirks. And she was saying, all of you know how to use your quirks to some extent. But let's not forget that some of our quirks are extremely dangerous if not used correctly. And that is why I created the USJ, to help you mold your quirks into something helpful. My quirk, Black Hole, is a quirk that can disintegrate anything. It's dangerous, but it also can be used to clear debris. It depends on how you use your power. Some of us can destroy large amounts of infrastructure with our quirks or can clear debris. Some of us can hurt others or help protect others. It depends on how you use your quirks. Some of our quirks are a little bit more uncontrollable than others. And she gives a long hard stare at Bakugo and Deku. Deku slightly shuffles away, but then she keeps staring at him. Well, glad we got that out of the way. Most of you have a foundation already on how to use your quirks. Now you're gonna have a foundation on how to use them. Rescue and search and rescue, scenarios, floodings, fires, and most of that. Every type of disaster is here in the USJ, simulated for your training purposes. Oh, and by the way guys, you know why I named it the USJ? I know it sounds like the USJ, Universal 13, they know, I already told them. You are so mean, Aizawa. As this conversation ends, a launch portal forms, but before it even formed, Izuku felt a large amount of bad intent from the middle of the plaza. Every hair on Izuku's neck stood straight. Izuku just whispered, evil. This was not gone unnoticed by Aizawa. It was at this moment where Kirishima said, no way, you guys even have fake villains for us? Aizawa noticed the villains and said, those aren't fake villains. 13, protect the kids. Aizawa rushed over, equipping his goggles and getting to fighting. Wait, the big one! He has something wrong with him, he has no emotions! Wait! Izuku tries to follow, but 13 stops him and she says, we have to stay here, I have to protect you. Aizawa is not only a good teacher, but he's a pretty good combatant. Don't underestimate your teacher. He's pretty good. Once 13 says this, we see that Aizawa is actually piecing up everyone. His quirk is amazing for this type of battle. He has a pretty clear view of everyone, so he starts kicking the butts of everyone who is in front of him. And then turning around while blinking, he resets it and looks at other people that have range quirks. It's a really good plan, and he starts executing it perfectly. And while he's fighting, the guy who looks to be the boss, which looks like a emaciated man with a bunch of hands around him, says,
Kurogiri, are you seeing this? He's hiding behind those goggles, making it hard to see where he's actually looking and who actually has their quirks turned off. He's also preventing us from working together. So annoying. This guy thinks he's so cool.
Izuku looks down and, I guess I was too worried. Shouldn't have underestimated. Then Ida says, "Hey, Midoriya, we have to clear out. Now is not the time to fanboy." Alright, Ida. Everybody starts running towards the exit. A cloud of mist appears in front of them.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. We are the League of Villains. I know it's impolite, but we decided to invite ourselves into this haven of justice. And besides, isn't this the proper place for the symbol of peace to meet his end? I believe he's supposed to be here, but yet I see no sign of him. Is he a bit late? In the end, it doesn't matter. I still have my own role to play.
After the Man of Mist says that Bakugo and Kirishima jumped and attack him. After the dust clears from Bakugo's and Kirishima's attack, they feel like they actually struck something, but not really. You really thought that we were gonna take this lying down and not fight back? Don't get ahead of yourself, spiky hair. We didn't even damage him. Look out!
Be careful with those abilities of yours. Someone might get hurt. I will scatter you across this facility and let my comrades deal with you.
After Kurogiri says this, 13 jumps on the offense and tells the kids to move out of the way so she can use the full power of her quirk. But right before she does, Kurogiri starts creating a giant warp gate. A torrent of mist erupts from his body and starts teleporting kids. Except for Ida, since he thought fast and moved equally as fast and saved Uraraka and one other classmate. After that happened, Midoriya ended up being one of the kids that got teleported. He appears or materializes right above a lake. Izuku was plunged into the lake and, unlike in canon, Izuku cannot swim. Yeah, this version of Izuku did not learn how to swim, even though he did train in his latter years to learn how to use his quirk. He did not learn how to swim. So this causes him to start drowning and starts panicking him. It does increase his cursed energy due to the negative thoughts of him wanting to breathe air and drowning. Of course, that would give everybody negative thoughts, duh. But this would actually make him harder to concentrate and pull his energy for a speed burst so he can swim. And as he's drowning, he sees that there's actually a villain closing in on him, and he thinks, this is how I die. And right now he's generating so much cursed energy that it's actually visible in the water. But luckily, Asui pulls up and actually kicks the villain in the face and saves Midoriya. Asui pulls him towards a boat that's in the middle of the lake, and Izuku, once he touches dry land, he starts hyperventilating and he's very, very, very scared. Thank you, Asui.
I told you to call me Zoo.
Anyways, thank you so much. I think I would have drowned without you. I panicked too much. I'm sorry. After Mineta, Izuku, and Asui gathered their thoughts, they started seeing villains surrounding the boat. And Izuku thought of an idea. He had to intimidate them. Izuku did not have the raw power to just make all of them go away. But he did have something. Years and years of stockpile negative emotions. It's at this point that where Izuku came up with an idea that might leave some of those villains unconscious or begging to be dead. Asui, you're gonna take us across the lake. And then can you swim?
Yeah, but why can't you, man? Aren't you supposed to be in a hero school?
I don't want to talk about that. Okay, here's the plan. Asui, the moment I stop using my power, you grab me with your tongue and you fling us as far as you can. Then we'll swim the rest of the way. That is with your guys' help.
Okay, Midoriya, we have your back. If you get me out of this, bro, I'll be your bro for the rest of my life, I swear.
Okay, close your eyes and stand behind me. Don't stand to the side or in front of me. Alright, close your eyes. When Izuku said that, he started releasing years worth of pent-up emotional trauma, negative energy, and not only that, curses from around him that Rika had consumed while his body was being possessed by her started to be released. This energy was overwhelming. Some of the villains felt chills, some immediately started convulsing, some started barfing, and some just simply lost consciousness. And the ones that were still conscious, looking at Izuku, they could only see the shadow of a monster. He's cursed. He's a cursed child. Please get me out of here. I didn't sign up for this. Izuku could feel himself being consumed by his own emotions. He let them out for a second, and he could still feel like the debilitating sadness, anger. But he had to concentrate. He could not be out of his funk. Alright guys, you can open your eyes now. All the villains are out of commission.
Bro, what the heck did you do, man?
Alright, Mineta, hold on to me. I'm gonna jump as far as I can. Asui, do the same. Then pick us up during the middle. I'll help us swim as far as I can. Please just don't let me go. After they clear that section of the USJ, Izuku keeps going forward until they end up on the area where Aizawa is being absolutely mollywopped by the Nomu. Shigaraki just had his butt handed to him by Aizawa, but he had to cheat and of course resort to the Nomu. Izuku wasn't about to let this happen, and Shigaraki immediately noticed that they were in the water, and he went over to decay Asui. But this did not come to fruition. Not because Aizawa looked at Shigaraki, because Izuku is still not out of his funk. He is still being influenced by all the negative emotions inside of him, and he could sense the emotions of this man. Izuku unsheathed his sword, and with no remorse, aimed it towards Shigaraki's throat. Shigaraki was able to see this in time, allowing him to dodge, but he still got his throat a bit cut, and now he's bleeding on the floor.
I knew it. You heroes are all the same. Only you can use excessive force, all the while we are left to be oppressed by your tyrannical rules, unable to do anything about it because we are powerless.
Izuku just keeps repeating one word over and over. Liar. Liar, 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 liar. Liar, 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 liar. Aizawa sees this and says, "Oh no, the kid's lost it again." Izuku tries to take control of his body, but it's getting harder. And he says, "Your words don't match your emotions. You're lying, 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 lying. They all lie, they all lie. They're all monsters, monsters. They have monsters inside. They're cursed. I am cursed. We're all cursed. The curses, they slip from your throat. They choke you. Why do they choke you? Why aren't you dead? They want to kill us. They want to kill you. And specifically all of us, especially me."
I think this kid's lost it. He's more unhinged than I am. You got me. I'm just here because I'm gonna have fun.
Why do you keep lying to yourself? You're only making them stronger.
Have you gone full schizo or something?
The Nomu leaves Aizawa and goes towards Shigaraki's side, but Shigaraki stops him and says,
I've got this. I'm gonna kill him myself.
Izuku, after being in this delirious state of just spouting nonsense, he comes to, and the first thing he sees is a hand reaching out for his face. And he knows that hand because he just saw it crumble Aizawa's elbow, and he did not want to know what would happen to his face. So he immediately dodged this, and he tried to hit back, but Shigaraki was deceptively fast, just like in the fight with Aizawa. At this point in time, All Might's still not on his way back, since Ada is still a little ways away from where All Might is, and he had a little bit of trouble getting out of the USJ. Back with the battle, the Nomu got involved in the fight. Now Izuku had to dodge both the Nomu and Shigaraki, and Izuku wasn't, very well versed, but then Shigaraki kept opening his mouth. He kept on insulting Izuku that he had some sort of Chinibyu tendencies and that what he said was totally cringe. And it's at this moment when the entire class is watching and seeing this entire fight play on from the plaza. And Todoroki and Bakugo jump in to help, but the Nomu is incredibly strong and it's just playing around with them. Shigaraki eventually gains the upper hand on Izuku, and he punches Izuku straight on the face and then goes to stop a punch from Izuku straight to his hand, and then he says, "You're done now." But Izuku had his armor on, so it decays his armor, but his hand still keeps going, and he punches him straight to the face, and Izuku says, "Payback, hope your nose is broken." But as Izuku said that, the Nomu appears behind him, and it swamps at him. Bakugo and Todoroki immediately say, "Midoriya, look out! Deku, run!" Shigaraki stands up and sees that Izuku is on the ground. He managed to use his armor on his arms to block, but now his armor is just cracked. Izuku's badly damaged. As Shigaraki dusts himself off, he says,
I thought you were gonna be different. Oh well, Nomu killed this brat.
The Nomu approached Izuku slowly. Everybody was shouting towards Izuku to get up or to do something, dodge. Even Baku was rushing towards the Nomu, and Todoroki was fending off Shigaraki. It was as if it was all in slow motion. As Izuku looked down, waiting for the Nomu to kill him, he saw something. The ring. It was laying towards his side. It probably got knocked out when Nomu hit him. Ever since Rika died, Izuku stopped wearing the ring on his ring finger. He wore it as a necklace, but right now, it's as if the danger of death made him have an epiphany. He's never been alone. Rika's always been with him. She was always with him. Rika, please, I'm sorry for asking this of you, but please, help me. Izuku took the necklace and took the ring out and put it on his ring finger, and he said, "Rika, come out!" As Izuku shouted this, a inky blackness around him started to form, lined with a purplish hue. The Nomu, brainless as it is, also noticed this new change. It's as if his instincts, primal instincts, were telling him to back off. Izuku stood up and the inky blackness started to grow and something started to form behind him. First the teeth, then the rest of the body, then the claws. Then a wail, a shriek could be heard throughout the entire USJ. The rest of the class saw this and they were all asking themselves, what is this? What is going on? What is going on with the Midoriya? What is that thing forming behind him?
I know what this is. My soul brother suffers from the same affliction I do. He has released his inner demons, for if they were allowed to fester for any longer,
he might have run the risk of being consumed by his own curse. Mina says, for reals? That's what happened? Hey, why do you have a notebook? I have to write that down. Write what down? What I just said. I need to use it for my dark fantasy. It was pretty good. Tokiyami, this is serious. After Izuku released Rika, he felt not better, but as if a weight had lifted from him. And he said something. Rika, you there? Rika responded and said, yeah. Okay. Go get him, girl. Rika shrieked again and went and charged towards the Nomu. It flew the Nomu up into the sky and started slashing at it and honestly piecing up the Nomu. They both could regenerate. Now it's a question who will outlast the other. Since Rika wasn't messing with Izuku's funk now, Izuku was completely concentrated. Izuku pulled out his blade again, covered it in cursed energy with much more control, and said, "What's wrong, man-child? Game's not fair anymore?"
No, this isn't fair. A surprise mini-boss? I'll kill you, kid, if it's the last thing I do.
When Shigaraki said that, the doors of the USJ flew open.
I am here.
All Might entered the USJ and let's say he's not smiling. And in a fraction of a second, he took down all the remaining villains, saved the rest of his students, and was able to keep his white shirt spotless. Now he stands in front of Shigaraki and Izuku.
You look well, young man, for someone who's been fighting all alone. I am sorry for my incompetence. This is no place for a student to be. Please take your injured teacher to safety. I will deal with this.
Izuku respectfully refuses. Sir, if I leave this area, Rika will stop attacking the Nomu. She'll lose interest in him.
Young man, in no good conscience can I let you fight my battle. Go and take your teacher.
Kirishima then pops up and says, I can take him. So can Bakugo. You guys deal with that guy.
Like hell I'll do that. I can help.
Come on, Bakugo, you and I know that Midoriya is above our level. He can do this. Come on, we'll catch up. I know it. Right now, please, help me save our teacher.
Fine, red hair.
All Might ponders this, and he thinks.
Young man, you'll stay behind me at all times. Understood?
Yes, I will, All Might.
Very well. I'll teach this punk a lesson. And to you, I'll teach you this lesson. Stare down the face of death. And smile.
Izuku's like, oh my god, this guy's so cool! Right, All Might. They both start running, and Izuku is deceptively fast as well. But even faster. He can now use his cursed energy more efficiently now that Rika is somewhere else fighting the Nomu. And Izuku tells All Might that he'll deal with Shigaraki. He could deal with the Nomu with Rika.
Alright. Stay safe, young man.
As they both split up, All Might jumps towards the Nomu, and Rika plans to attack All Might, but then she gets directions from Izuku to not to, and she kinda seems angry at this, but she lets it go. All Might starts talking to Rika.
Young lady, I was told that you will assist me in this battle.
Rika doesn't answer, she just puts her claws at the ready.
Very well. Ladies first.
Rika dashes at the Nomu, and so does All Might after her. And they start piecing the Nomu up. All Might comes in with a smash towards the midsection. Rika comes with a slash towards the face. And they both target key areas of the Nomu. And The Nomu can't keep up, and it just takes a kneel and just receives this punishment from these two behemoths of like powerful beings. Meanwhile, Izuku is dancing around Shigaraki. Shigaraki can't get a hit in, even if Kurogiri is giving him an assist. He cannot get a hit in. Izuku is too slick with it. He dodges every hit, and he starts feeling something. It's not the anger or like negative energy. It is, but it's different. Controlled, like he's in the zone. Izuku reels back his arms, and he uses his power, his cursed energy at mass output, and he delivers a punch towards Shigaraki's gut. At the right moment, where black sparks sparked out of Izuku's fist, but not before Shigaraki managed to touch Izuku's arm, and it actually disintegrated half of his arm. Izuku reeled back in pain, while Shigaraki flew like 30 meters in the air. Kurogiri shouted,
Master!
Izuku kneeled to the ground in pain. Rika, hearing this cry of pain from Izuku, immediately got worried, and she flew towards Izuku and she started fussing over him. And then she saw the stump and she wanted to kill whatever was in front of her. But there was nothing in front of her. So what she decided to do instead was envelop Izuku in an energy that immediately started healing the stump. But not only that, it started making flesh grow back and muscle tissue and bone. Izuku was so confused. At this point, what even is my power? After Rika left All Might felt like a bit of the drag of not having a companion to fight with. But he said, alright, enough nonsense.
Alright everyone, I'm sure you heard this before. To you future heroes, it means to never give up in any circumstances. But to you villains, let me teach you the same lesson. When you hear these words, know that we will not stop until you are under prison. Go beyond! Plus Ultra!
Izuku looks up to the sky and sees the Nomu rocket off into space. Whoa, All Might still got it. At that moment, Shigaraki stands up and says,
Kurogiri, take me out of here. It's not worth it, Master lied. He hasn't lost a single bit of his strength.
Right away, Toma Shigaraki.
Kurogiri opened the portal, but right before Shigaraki stepped through it, bullets rained down and they pierced through Shigaraki's kneecap and shoulder, trying to stop him, but Shigaraki managed to, muster the strength to just fall into the portal. And this marks the end of the USJ arc, and after this I'm just gonna start speedrunning this, guys, because this is getting kinda long and I yap too much, so up to the next one.